Hello, fellow electricians, apprentices, trainees, whatever you are. Welcome back to another ramble. I'm going to ramble about this one because people have asked me to do it. I will quickly change to here. Look, I'm down in the corner now. I put a picture up on the internet of this Robin test kit. This was the first test kit I used, not owned. It was the first test kit I used. And that was for the firm I did my apprenticeship for, Cannon Electrical. I think we had that exact set. The 3 testers in the box with all the leads and everything. And it was a joy and a pleasure to use. I do not remember, or I've not used, or think I might use an insulation resistance tester. The one before that set had analog screens. So there was dials apart from the RCD tester. But yeah, that's the one I used. Full digital screens. It was a revelation. To use it was a joy and a thing to behold. I then purchased myself, as I come out my time, because things had moved on somewhat, a Robin tester as big as one of these that did all the functions of all 3. And it had a great set of test leads with it, which I'll talk about later, because Robin test leads were the best. Yeah, they could not be beat. They were floppy and sloppy and didn't get in a tangle and lasted for ages. Were made out of some super duper stuff that was great. Anyway, I digressed a little bit too much into what I'm coming into later. Anyhow, people say to me, what tester should I buy? So if I'm ever doing this at college or at teaching or anyone asks me, this is the site to go to. I'm not saying buy things off this site. It's Pass Electrical and Electronic, otherwise known in the trade as tester.co.uk. I'm not telling you to buy anything off these. These for me are the same as the RS catalogue. Go in there and have a look, but try and buy it from somewhere else. It might be cheaper. Yeah, I'm not saying they're good. I'm not saying they're bad. I have purchased things off Pass. I've had good service off them before, but I've also had bad service off them before. So I'm not recommending them, but they do function like the RS catalogue, and that everything you will ever want in the world of test gear is on here. And it's got a lot of resources. It's a very, very good website. I've got to give that to them, which is why I occasionally buy something off them, or occasionally buy something cheaper. But yeah, it should go to, if you want to look at this stuff, go to Electrical Electronic, Electrical Test Equipment, go across there, multifunction testers. Obviously, I've already opened it up, and there you go. And I've got from them, because they stock everyone's range as far as I'm aware. They stock them from everyone. I think, I'll let you know when I get to the bottom of this list if it's not everybody, but they stock a vast range of test equipment. I've got the whole lot up here. I know who's they don't stock, and I'll add it on the end. They don't stock TIS, which I'll talk about separate at the end, so remind me to do that. Not that you can if you're watching this on a video. Now listed, I've got this. So the first one that pops up is the Dialogue. I find these to be a reasonable tester. They come in a nice box. The tester itself is not bad, although it's a bit clunky. It does feel a bit cheaper than some of the premium brands, but it is a lot cheaper than some of the premium brands. I'm going to talk for the excluding VAT prices. That's the bigger one. Bear in mind, if you're a normal civilian, you're going to have to bang 20% on that, which in this case leaves it at 510 quid. That's not bad for a functioning new tester. What I will say is, I'm going to say this a lot, is the leads are shite. Absolute shit. They're the first thing to wear out, they're the first thing to break. So you're going to spend an extra 100 quid straight away on a set of decent test leads. So do factor that in, that those test leads won't last you long. And I know this because I've used that tester. I've used it, whether at college I worked at. Like I say, they're alright, but the leads are shonker. So factor in 100 quid at least on top of that for a new set of leads. Would I recommend it? If that's all you can afford, then go for it. But it's not something I'd buy, but they're alright for a beginner because you don't know any better. The Metro, I'll confess now, I've never used one. I don't want to use one either. The reason I don't want to use one is because the leads are shonky to me, because they have their own unique plug. So if I want to go and buy a set of test leads for this Metro, then I've got to go and buy the Metro ones. And I just won't have that. I won't have that because it limits me. It reduces the lead time. It means I've got a lead time. It means I've got to keep things like spare leads and that. I will not buy any tester that has a bespoke plug. This Robin used kettle leads. Right, but that was then, this is now. We've moved on to the GS38 style, banana style plugs, shrouded banana plugs. And long may that continue. These had kettle leads, but the leads were so good, you didn't need to worry about it because the leads would outlive the tester. So would I buy a Metro? Not while they're still using this prohibitive bespoke plug I want. So that rules me out of the Metro. Although I've heard they are quite good testers. Reasonably priced, that is, as well. Little handheld thing though, a bit shonker. I'm more on about brands here than testers, but yeah, I don't like the look of that one. I don't like the look of those leads. It is what it is, innit? But it's cheap. Martindale, not going to go into it. That Martindale to me, and I'm just speaking from that ET4 to that Martindale, look at its form factor, looks very similar to that Dialogue. That Dialogue looks very similar to a lot of other testers. If you want to go for the Martindale one, which is a bit more expensive, comes with a soft bag though, still comes with a set of shonky leads, there's a CD there and a data lead or something. Yeah, have a look at that one. Martindale, reputable brand. I won't use anyone else's safe isolation equipment, but I've never used one of the testers, but it does look very similar to other ones. Dialogue, we spoke about them. This one's a little bit more. Don't know why. It's got something in it, but you have to start looking at it. I'm more discussing here individual manufacturers. Q-Tech. I'd not used one, and I got to use one at college the other week. Someone brought one in. I was very impressed by it. Great screen, great form factor, nice case, nice interface, shit leads. You're starting to get the idea that I think the leads are shit. However, you can plug another set of leads in there because it's got the bespoke plugs. Q-Technique were Robin. So the ones I'm banging on about, the super duper ones, Robin were always these yellow bellies. They were subject to a takeover by Fluke at some point, and then a lot of the people who worked for Robin went off and set up Q-Technique. And their testers show that, although they're not yellow anymore, they're this nice grey colour. I think they're a wonderful tester, nice to use, great screen, great user interface. Still think the leads are shonky, but that's what it is. For $495, that's a nice bit of kit. I've seen one. Metro, talked about it. I don't like these little handheld things, if I'm honest. Talked about the Metro. What do I use? What's in my garage? What have I used since I had a Robin? I've used Fluke. The 1600 range of 1662, 1663, 1664. I think 1661. I think mine's a 1663 FT. I like them. I like the box they come in. I like the form factor of a tester. I like the way it's laid out. I like the leads. I love the leads. I like the strap. I like the way it dangles down. I like the way you can throw it around your head. I like the Flukes. I'm a bit biased. It's what I use. Someone's making me move away from the Flukes, but any test equipment for me, I'm Fluke. I've got tons of it. They do so much industrial process stuff, it's unreal. A lot of it is very good, but some of it is pure shite. Yeah, I just recently used a power quality meter. I borrowed it off a friend, $4,500. The meter itself was absolutely wonderful, perfect, well made, great leads as always, great form factor, great user interface, software, absolute shit, really laid down. Wouldn't buy one, but I've got the process control meter that I love. I can't remember what number it is now, but I've got it. Bell and Probe, these are Fluke. It is a Fluke inside, and it's in that familiar form factor of the Fluke and the Martindale and the Dialogue. They're all following that form factor now. I've not used the actual Bell and Probe ones, but I've used their EV adapter, and it's absolutely fantastic. Are they Fluke leads, or are they cheaper leads, or are they just different colours? I do not know, but I don't know what they're like. Discontinued as well, probably because it's been replaced by a Fluke. The bigger Metros, again, use that funny plug. Won't buy one myself. Now we're talking old school. What test do you use? I use a Fluke because I used a Robin, because the people I work with use Robin. Now when it comes to Meggers, they're obviously good testers. Yeah, I never use one because I never worked with anyone that was a Grandad Megger to pass that information on to me. Now I find I don't like them, and they're quite confusing, probably because I'm used to the Robin / Fluke form factor. Likewise, anyone that's hardcore Megger, that's Grandad Megger, will have had it handed down to them and will know what they're doing. I find there's a lot of dial twisting. Yeah, they still don't have many buttons on them. There's a lot of dial turning. There's a lot of fanning around, moving leads around. Shonkiest leads on the market, in my opinion. The leads do not like fitting into the excellent Q-Technic range of adapters, which I'll cover in a moment. And I hate that. I often have people at college and we lend out adapters, and I lend them a set of Fluke test leads to go with their Megger. To be fair though, if Megger's your bag, they're well made, constructed pieces of kit with a lot of history behind them. If you throw away their leads that come with them, which I think are permanent turd, replace them with a set of the Fluke ones, which I'm coming to, I don't think they're a bad tester, and a lot of people will say that. And they're reasonably priced, like a $560 there. The Martindale, we've covered that. Same kind of thing. We've covered the Metro. That Q-Technic one there, oh, that is nice. That is nice. That's the more advanced one with a touchscreen. I believe that's the one I've used. All reliant on a dial though. Got some push buttons, but yeah, I do like that Q Technique. Well done. Don't know what you're doing with that Q Technique. That looks like that Bop It children's toy. Yeah, but what you done there? Why have you gone away from that classic colours and gone to that? I don't know what that's all about. The Metro demonstration board. Don't know what that is. And here's the classics. The Fluke 1663, which is what I've got. The Meggers. The Metro testers and all that. So they're all there. There's your Martindale. As you get down the list further, they're just coming with freebies and additions and stuff like that. Or with the Fluke, you get into like the 1664 FC, which is the top of the range one. I'll talk separately about the Flukes in a moment because I know them. This one comes with a meter and that. But that's just a rundown of the manufacturers. And I'm just going to pause it there while I move on to something else. So it would be unfair not to mention the TIS because people seem to love these. I've not used one. I'm very keen to use one. They can't loan me one because they've got none. But someone's lending me one for something that I'm doing coming up. Someone's going to borrow me one purely for the purpose I can test it out. So the TIS are well worth looking at. They are quite costly, but they are very, very good. They're highly recommended. I know people that swear by them. I've not seen that one with that screen. That's like got an LCD start screen. I've seen that one, the MFT Pro, which has got like a proper touchscreen. The good thing about that is I do believe they'll do software upgrades and give more features for when they come out. I know with the Flukes, the range is the same. They've just got different software in them. So you are paying for a bit of numbers, and I do believe these guys will upgrade it. Again, I've not had any dealings with them as such, but I've heard this TIF MFT Pro is an excellent tester. So it's just got to be worth mentioning that. And it does a lot of cool EV stuff. And I'm not sure about the leads. I think they take their own leads. I'm not sure. But obviously you can whack a decent set of leads on if you want, because I swear by a certain set. So yeah, unfair not to mention them. So one manufacturer I've got to mention is Q-Tech regarding adapters and leads and stuff. Not the greatest leads, we're coming to that. Their range of adapters cannot be beat. I bought myself this set. These little plug-in things are really used, but when you do need to plug something in, they're the best set on the market. I know other people do them, but they were the first, which is why I'm crediting them. So other people sell them now. TIS do one, I think Bell and Pro do one, but these were the first to do this funky stuff. So this set, I've got it. The test lead linking set's great. You get a little PAT adapter, and you get this classic socket adapter, which I'm just going to move on to in a second. And I've found the ones I'm looking for. It's these. Q-Technic do these. This set, things like this that convert to banana plugs for leads on, single phase and three phase. They're just really good at it. Fair play, Q-Tech. You make some cracking stuff like this. Test adapters and that, you're pretty much my go-to because you was doing it first. People are copying you. So yeah, there is that one. Right then, I've kept going about test leads all the way through this video. And for me, there is no such thing as test leads unless they have Fluke on them. To be fair, I'm sold my soul to a devil, maybe, I don't know. But at the minute, at the time of recording this video, I've not seen anyone or any manufacturer of any test meter. I've never used any test meter that has a better set of cables on it than the Fluke ones. And on Pass, Test.UK, I've just gone to the Fluke test lead set. That doesn't just apply to MFTs. I buy Fluke multimeters, even though they are grotesquely overpriced what they do sometimes, because I know the leads will outlast anything on the market, and they will be graded proper to keep me safe and won't blow my fucking hands off. That's why I buy good test leads. And if you go Fluke test leads set on Pass, you can look at all the lovely test leads to do. Stuff like this with super long thin probes. I've got that one. That's not a bad price for it, actually. Yeah, all these funky things. No one makes a better test lead. And if anyone does, or you think they do, let me know, because I'd love to find out about it, yeah? But for me, no one does a better set of test leads. You do end up having not many testers for jobs, especially in the electronics and the workshop stuff I do. But you do end up having a lot of test leads. And when you buy crap ones off eBay, which I do because I don't use them very often, I'll be like, I'll buy a cheap crack set of these type, for example, pincer test leads. I bought some, they were alright, but they were a bit shit, and it didn't take me long to realise that if I just bought them, I'd spend less time faffing around with leads than I would just buying them. So I bought some. 31 quid down the Swanee, but there you go. But keep going, have a look at this test lead set. These Fluke test leads cannot be beat. Having a set of crocodile clips for your T5 can't be beat. Spare leads for your T5 and the sets. But this one, No matter what tester you decide to go for, no matter how much money you can afford to spend, buying that set of test leads, as long as it will fit in your meter, beware, some meters won't accept those type of test leads, yeah? Buying that set of test leads, I assure you, will make your life easier. Fluke test leads, which I'll just do a separate video on one day when I'm in the garage, are a thing of joy. They're flopper, they're silicone, they're hard wearing, they're deep colour coded, they're fused, they've got GS38 tips, which are, to be fair, are a bit shit, yeah? Only Martindale doing one where the tip does not come out, but I love them. If you don't go and spend 128 quid on a set without getting a set and trying them. They're the best test leads on the market, and for me, testers are testers. Go and buy a set of the original Fluke or Robin testers if you want, but use those test leads. Go and buy the Q-Tech, but use those test leads. It just makes life so much easier, and I do not know in this day and age why only Fluke can produce a set of test leads that good against some of the bigger companies like Megger, who just seem to produce these really thin, shonky crap things that are sticky and tangle up with each other. Try the Fluke ones. No matter what tester you get, they're based on your budget. They'll make it a lot better, even if it's a second-hand one. Don't take my word for it. Play them yourself. I'm not sponsored by Fluke. I don't get paid by Fluke, but I just love these test leads. And for me, as a sparky doing testing, they're the one thing that makes the day go round a bit easier. See you later.